Hello guys, Nexas here, and welcome back to, of course, Destiny 2. And in today's video, guys, we are here with more Tuesday reset goodness to go over. And what we're going to be looking at today is, of course, going to be the Nightfall reward, mainly because we have absolutely zero new content. It's going to be kind of a while. I think mid-May we'll be getting the reveal for the next or the DLC. Edge of Fate, which looks like it's going to be to do with the 9, which is honestly so freaking dope. But I think until then, we're not really going to have anything too new in the game or whatnot. So, the only thing you're going to be kind of grinding for right now is really these Nightfall rewards. And the one that is going to, of course, be up today is going to be the Shadow Price Adept. So, Shadow Price itself is synonymous with one of the best, if not the best, auto rifles back in D1. Legendary, anyway. Honestly, it was like your mini Suros. It was freaking nutty back in the day. But it came back, obviously, a while back. And I will say that this season, it actually does clap a good bit. Now, all the arc weapons kind of do, and especially sort of void autos as well when you get those precision hits. With this, especially because that's why I'm on Titan, you get the arc bolt sort of charge going with the barricade. And rolls-wise, it actually just has some kind of nice ones for the LPVE. Now, I always will say I love the perks that you don't have to get kills to activate, because in game it makes them so much more desirable. Of course, Vault Shot, don't get me wrong, is great on this, but jolting feedback would have been super juicy to get on it. It doesn't have it. It does have the permeability though, so you can, if you want, you can make this void itself and try going with that build. Of course, it's got good shot straight. It has the demolitionist, which is really nice, and the strategist, so it's actually a pretty decent weapon for energy regen. The only thing I am kind of sad is that the Shadow Price doesn't have any sort of like damage perks in terms of maybe like a kill clip or something like that. Imagine that in PvP, it would make it so nice. But PvE, as I said, that's where the Shadow Price is going to shine. And you can get this, of course, from the Nightfall up this week. It is Battlegrounds Moon, which I know right now has turned nearly everybody off that GM because it is a pretty horrible GM. But the Shadow Price can sometimes be worth it because, especially in this season, it can be a really dope and a good arc build. But yeah, there's no point in just taking my word for it. We're going to go into some PvE with, of course, the Shadow Price Adept. Alrighty, so we're going to go in and do, of course, the Nightfall for this week, which is, of course, going to be this Battleground move, which, as I said, can be kind of horrible for a lot of people. Some people really don't like it. But in PvE, obviously, this is the standard version as well. I don't have the balls to do GM with this. No randoms anyway. But this, it still is going to be nice in PvE and everything. As I said, Vault Shot, obviously, is just a really kind of sweet perk. Any of the verb sort of weaponry kind of are. But in a good arc build, you can kind of see it will be really, really nice. And if I kind of get into a spot where I can kind of sit back, obviously I'm just kind of run out these. But if you get into a spot where you can lay down fire like this and then get your reloads kind of going, it obviously will do some work for you. You can see in a good arc build, it's really, really juicy. And then if you get your freaking Rowdy Barricade going, you get the arc charge or the bolt charge going, and bolt charge is just one of, I'd say, the most cracked things they've ever really brought out. Ignitions were cool. I think ignitions are still kind of strong. Volatile has always been kind of cool as well. But I think when it comes to those pure domination and making the PvE just futile, I think arc charge and ball charge is just kind of crazy. Mainly because of how easy it is to actually go. And oh, I don't have any unstop bot. Don't worry, he does though. But yeah, with the arc charge and everything, it's so easy to just proc. Like, you just have to sit behind a barricade, obviously, to get it going. And the damage it does is just kind of crazy. Like, look at this thing. It just got freaking annihilated now, buddy. I hope you, yep, you're gonna get it. But it's just, it's so freaking nice. Ball charge on a weapon, an arc weapon especially, just, it absolutely freaking stays out. So yeah, I just think that in general, when it comes to this Shadow Price, it's so good PvE. PvP can be fun too, but I said roses aren't really there. But PvE, you can see it absolutely claps. And especially because I do have the attrition orbs on this too, so I'm just generating orbs for my teams for freaking days, which in a good, like I said, build where you want to get like obviously your kind of charges back, if you have like something that every orb pickup gives you cost ability energy, you can get things going so smoothly. There's the arc charge going again, the ball charge. Just, oh my god, it's so juicy. I know you could use this obviously with people would say you could use this with the void sort of weaponry as well, which is nice too, because if you kind of keep the headshots, you get ball charge going, you get the volatile going. It is really sweet, don't get me wrong. But as I said, if you want the more synergistic sorts of builds and everything, where you have the arc trying to charge going and the vault charge going, and of course, if you just want to go in with the arc in general for synergistic reasons, it's so nice. I mean, oh man, Shadow Price, my baby, clean out scope, and it's just freaking so juicy. All right, time to go into the room of hell on GMs. Yeah, this is the room where you will probably die a bunch because there's so many freaking enemies around here, and you have to dunk things in front of them. Yay! Always fun to dunk things. Man, this room honestly reset me so many freaking times when I've done this GM. But yeah, I will say that the Shadow Price, it's definitely worth getting some rolls off. I know for a fact that I'm going to get hit with it. I've already got charged this weapon. I've got to show me your rolls. Yeah, you probably already do. It's come back a couple of times, but This is more the PSA for a lot of people who maybe don't have a role in this or whatnot, or just haven't got the normal version. You know, the new players who come across to Destiny at the end of the season, like the best time, where you just burn through all the content in like 10 seconds. That's the best way to play this game nowadays. But I do think that, yeah, it's definitely worth it for some new players if you want to try it out and everything. Or, as I said, if you don't have your kind of god rolls for it, it's still a really sweet arc auto. It's actually kind of one of the better ones. There is a couple you can get legendaries that obviously do well too, so it's not the only one in the game. But the fact that you do have like things like stunning recovery and the vindication, obviously. But as I said, it does have some pretty nice rolls for PvE. I still do think that's worth it, maybe getting some rolls. And as I said, there's not much really else going on in Destiny right now. The only thing you can really farm out for is really the GMs. I mean, unless you wait for the weekend for trials. Not much else really going on now because we finished the story content. Well, at least we finally got out of that other freaking room. We have nothing for the Unstopped boys. How are we like this? How are we so ill-prepared for Nightfall? But yeah, you finally get out of that other room and then you start going into the Unstops and everything on this bridge. And this is... I'm not going to lie, this is actually one of the more difficult, to say, Nightfalls to actually kind of do. Oh, or as a GM anyway. And yo, is there freaking... Yo, buddy, get the hell down from there and stop freaking sniping me from above. You know, it's good. Oh, hit him to freaking half HP. Well, yeah, as far as it goes in kind of a good arc build, especially if you have like Anarchy on and let me hit him a couple of times, and you can see the all charge is going to start railing this thing. Like, look at his HP. As long as you do have a good arc build on, though, you will obviously do some work with this weaponry and everything. As I said, I just think overall that the Shadow Price, I still do think it's a really dope ass arc weapon. The only thing I kind of will say though is that there is a couple of weapons in the game which that I will see, not that they're better than this, but it definitely gives it like solid competition. Like, it's not exactly like this is the only arc weapon in the game. There's a ton, like even the Division sidearm is just absolutely cracked right now, but there's something about auto rifles, especially with the arc charge and everything. We want to go on a Titan, that works out really well. And as I said, whilst you're waiting or looking for something to do whilst you wait for Frontiers, and of course the Edge of Fate, which is the next DLC, I think it's Apollo, we'll be getting like obviously some reveals of it come May. It's definitely worth kind of looking at. Oh my god, doing some freaking GMs. Alright, last hurrah, boys. Last freaking hurrah. So we'll put this on him. Give me a second. Let me pop it in. I missed every shot. Oh my god, actually. We missed every shot. Oh, he's back. He's just TPing around the place, buddy. He's like the worst Roddy Barricade freaking position ever. I missed every shot again. I think I might have. But of course, Shadow Price itself, as I said, I really do like the weapon. Obviously, it's a fan favorite of mine anyway. One of my goats from D1 and everything. So I'm always gonna have a soft spot for it. But I do think that currently in the right sort of build with Arc doing kind of really well this season as well, or episode, it's worth getting some rolls off if you don't have it. And of course, as I said, whilst you're kind of waiting for the old... Wait, what the? How's this thing still alive? Did it bug out? Did I just thunder crash it too freaking quickly? Oh my god, of course. But yeah, whilst you're kind of waiting for the old Frontiers and everything like that, it is going to be worth, of course, getting some rolls of this. Oh my god, you have to crush it. Man, what is wrong with me? How long have I been playing this game and I completely forgot that was a mechanic? Oh my god, I'm washed. Well, that is it for me. And of course, the Shadow Price Adept auto rifle itself. As I said, it is going to be in the GMs this week, which I will say the GM isn't exactly that hard, but it's also not that easy either. It's kind of an annoying one, so to speak. There's a lot of places you can kind of live and like cheese it out and stuff like that, but it's just one of these annoying sorts of GMs. But I will say overall, the Shadow Price itself, it's a really dope weapon, especially in any sort of arc build and whatnot. It's still one of my favorite autos in general in the game. Even though it's so sort of basic, it just has that nostalgia trip for me. I just love it so much from D1. But as I said, there's not much really coming out in Destiny in terms of new content or anything like that. We might get some nerfs and buffs and everything until May though, when we get the reveal, and then also we get that like sort of training dungeon sort of modes that we're meant to be getting. There's not much else new that's going to be coming out too much. So I'm probably video-wise, just in terms of the channel update, I might be start doing a little bit more in terms of videos on Marathon and like comparisons between that and Destiny. And also maybe like looking at some of the extraction shooters. I played tons of them. This isn't like I'm coming fresh into them. I played like hundreds of hours of Tarkov, hundreds of hours of freaking Hunt. Played a good bit of the cycle, and like there's a ton of extractions I've played, so I kind of do know the gist of them, but I might start getting used to them and everything and showcase what they're like, just for the Destiny folks who obviously watch my channel and everything and never really played it, and if they will see if Marathon will be their jam. But as I said, Shadow Price is the Nightfall reward this week. Get it if you don't have it, because it goes really well with arc builds. But regardless, if you like the video, trust like, and you want to see more content, subscribe. Have a fantastic day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next collective in the next one.